All these items are from my most recent Amazon Japan order. There was one more item in that order, and that was this. I'm going to review and explain this purchase in another video by itself. So to start off, we have a couple of items from Vessel that are new for 2024. Let's start with the Vessel DAK-1. The new Vessel DAK-1 is a combination of an electrician's knife and a utility knife. The blade is an electrician's knife blade, not a utility blade. But it's an electrician's knife that works like a utility knife. Okay, so the new DAK-1 is Vessel's Electrician's Adjusting Knife, alloy tool steel, easy to clean, maximum blade length is 63 millimeters. You can adjust the blade length. The blade is replaceable. It has an additional wire cutting stripping feature I'll show, and they're showing the additional lock knob. The DAK-1 is made in China, and that does look like 63 millimeters of blade protrusion. End cap has a cutting knife in it, which I'll demonstrate in a minute. The end cap is removable, and that's how the blade is changed. It has a loop for fall prevention. And it has a locking knob, which is reverse threaded. You can see that the knob does protrude. It does seem a little bit clumsy. Pulling toward me tightens it, pushing away loosens it. It is a two-component handle. I can feel the difference between these two types of plastic. This, of course, is that typical hard plastic. But the black plastic is not as soft and grippy as it might appear. It's not as grippy as a handle on a power tool. The cutter on the end is safely obscured so that you can't cut yourself on it. Here's some 14 gauge Romex. This is what we run into in the United States. The paper sheath on the ground wire gets all bunched up in there. It doesn't cut through it. I don't see any damage to the other conductors. So here's some 12 gauge Romex. Okay, that works. And again, the paper sheath gets all bunched up in there, but it doesn't damage the conductors. Let's look at the depth adjustment. There's the first setting, there's the second, and so forth. Okay, so how shallow can it go? So we can see that on the shallow setting, the tightening knob doesn't do anything. Because of this bump here, that shallow setting isn't very useful. Okay, so let's go one more detent. The locking knob just barely catches it. That works well. Okay, so this is probably the most useful, most shallow setting. And then every setting after that, the lock works. All right, so that's a look at the new for 2024 Vessel DAK-1 Electrician's Knife. Okay, so then we've got the new Vessel Quick Catch. There's the part number. It's made in China. I got mine in black, but you can get it in blue, gold, or red. These are exactly the same as these. So this one has a belt loop, but it also has a grommet hole. It's a very generous belt loop. It's not difficult to get belts through this at all. So, and this one is reversible. It can be used either way. So it can be used like this as well. There's another version of this that does not have the grommet. Instead, it has a magnetic surface that you can use to put loose fasteners on. Having this mounted on a belt makes it easier to put the bits into it. So this is more efficient than this, because if you have these, you fumble around with this, it's just much easier to use this when it's on a belt. Then I bought 2 fall prevention cords, one from Vessel and one from Shinwa. This one by Vessel is made in Japan. This style is aimed at those electric screwdrivers. So that is why they have done up the one end like this. This cord is 90 centimeters stretched out to 160 centimeters, and this is rated for 1 kilogram or 2.2 pounds. The Shinwa seems aimed more at fall prevention for wrenches. The Shinwa is made in Taiwan. They give you a ring, and then there's this piece of cable like this. One of these clips is larger than the other. It was my astute audience that helped me understand that these loops are for fall prevention. All right, so that is how this is all intended to come together. So several of these products, including this one, I discovered from another Japanese YouTuber, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was. So this is a drill holder by Star M. Doesn't say where it's made. Okay, so the problem that this Star M drill holder solves is when you want to carry bits on your belt, if you have this, you can get poked. This drill bit could get damaged. So if you have several of these, you can get them in different colors, and then they have a window so that you can see what bit is in there. And it's secure, that does not come out of there. That's the Star M drill holder. So let's talk about Japanese Torx bits. Torx is not nearly as popular in Japan as it is here in the United States. The Japanese Torx bits tend to have a lot of wobble where they fit into the fastener. And I've noticed that especially with the Vessel products, so I decided to try ANEX. This set does also have the security compatible hole in the end. Here's the Vessel, for example. It's really bad. So the ANEX is better, a lot better. However, the Japanese just don't come close to the fit of the PB Swiss. The PB Swiss Torx bits are still my favorite. These are the ones I use. PB Swiss does not undercut or cup the tip when they machine it. You can see how bad the Vessel is cupped. Well, that's why it's so wobbly. The ANEX doesn't look like it's cupped, maybe just slightly. So for Torx bits, the PB Swiss are still my go-to. So next we've got a couple of Vessel products that are not new. So this set is made in Japan by Vessel. And this is what they call the Ultra Ball. Here's the Vessel General Catalog, and here is the Ultra Ball. So that is a maximum tilting angle of 38 degrees. The Ultra Ball feature can also be found on these hex drivers. If you have the PB Swiss Tools rainbow set of small hex keys, this is how it compares. This one does not have any ball drives on any of the ends. Both of the sets have the same sizes. So these are Vessel short, stubby, or shallow bits at 18 millimeters. Here's your part number. These are made in Taiwan. I've shown these ANEX stubby bits in other videos. Vessel is 18 millimeters. Looks like 1 more millimeter, 19 millimeters. All right, let's quick look at the size 2 just to see if that follows. Even on the size 2, the vessel is 1 millimeter shorter. They came in this stacking or chain link style holder. There is a hole all the way through that, but they do seem to hold in there. So here's the Wera micro bit ratchet, and that is going to give you very low clearances. Let's take a look at the shallow bit in this new Wera ratchet. That's nice and compact. Okay, so the magnet in this is good, but I can still get the stubby bit from Vessel out of there just fine. This is the Wera 813. This is a little deeper. That goes in there a little farther. Much more difficult to get that bit out of there. In fact, okay, I was able to get that. If you're familiar with EDC Outlaw, he modifies these 813s and puts a bit storage in the end. So this is how it fits there. It's almost gone. You cannot grab onto that. So if you're going to do something like this, you got to bring along your EDC Outlaw custom laser etched Cobra to get that out of there. Okay, that's how that fits in a wrap adapter. It does still work, but that is very shallow. And then you've got to use your Cobras to get that out of there. So that's the ANEX bit. It's 1 extra millimeter longer. That's what that looks like. Still need the Cobras to get that out of there. And then you can see that that's about 1 more. Okay? And so 19 millimeters I can get out of the EDC Outlaw bit storage. But if you just want low clearances, go for the Vessel 18 millimeter stubby bits. The Japanese have lots of these double-ended bits, so they've got a detent sticking out here. So they make these accessories that take advantage of that detent that's sitting out at the end of a bit. These are a modification of these. The Star M doesn't say where it's made. The Earthman is made in Taiwan, and the Kosei is made in Japan. Pre-drill, hot. All right, the first thing I see that I don't like on this one is I can't use it underhanded. When I have to reach overhand, now I burn myself on the bit. So you've got to actuate that this way. The Earthman slides on, slides off, underhanded. I don't burn myself, okay? So we drill that, we take that off. And that's how that works. And then we're ready for our next operation. I definitely like the Earthman better than the Kosei. If you think I missed something here in my comparison, please mention that in the comments. I love these Makita vacuums. Okay, so let's take a look at the Star M. Comes with a bit. Double-ended, we'll put that in our Japanese Makita. I bought this on Amazon Japan. The teal one sold in the United States is not going to fit these bits. Okay, so okay, I can underhand remove it. And I think I see the problem already. Okay, well, so the problem that I thought I was going to run into. Alright, so I ended up getting the size large, which is really too big for these small screws. So just be aware that these come in different sizes. Alright, then we've got this. This is a Star M product. There's your part number. They flat that shaft. They're not really giving you much depth adjustment. I think the main point is that it's just a replaceable tip when it gets dulled or damaged. But what's nice about it is it's a full countersink with a full contour for the head of the screw. Oh, that was perfect for that screw. So this is a Star M product. This one is made in Japan. I know it's kind of gimmicky. I see this as kind of a kitchen junk drawer kind of a tool, because if it's in a kitchen junk drawer and you're digging around in there for stuff, you're not going to get poked, you're not going to get cut. If you're just trying to do a light repair on something, the drill bit on here is self-threading. And this is soft wood, goes in there. You don't have your countersink, but you do have a pre-drill. So if you were going to do this by hand, you put the handle side back over the bit, and you've got this one size fits all bit. So this is a size 1, a size 2, and maybe even a size 3. Okay, and then you can do, a repair on a hinge on a cabinet or something like that. So that's kind of why I see this as a kitchen junk drawer kind of a thing. All right, but it's got one more trick up its sleeve. And I've got the hooks sitting right there. So if you want to put hooks in something, okay, and then the hook kind of fits in there. So they've got a bit of a contour to that so that it centers itself kind of right there. Save you some ouchies on the hand if you got arthritis. So that was more of a curiosity purchase. This one was also kind of a curiosity purchase. This is made in Japan. So what this is a small backwards drill bit intended to fit small size 0 cross point screws that are stripped out. And I do actually run into these on laptops sometimes. All right, it comes with this holder. Made in Japan. The cap spins nice. There's nothing going on here. There's no bit storage. So the bit is removable from the shank. Okay, so here's a PB Swiss size 0 on that screw. This screw has been giving me trouble. It does skip, it does slip, but it's not completely stripped out. But it's the most stripped screw I could find. So we'll see if this can extract it. And as far as I can tell, what it's doing, it's definitely drilling out the hole. Oh, okay, it did catch on to it. Okay, it did extract the screw. Okay, I didn't think that was going to work. I had my engineer screw extractors ready. I had these vessel screw extractors ready. Didn't need them. Okay, so the ANEX did work. I just wish there was a way to store this inside of here. I keep thinking that there is, but there isn't. There isn't. It doesn't work that way. All right, that's another tool haul. Remember, this product, this is going to be a review of what happens when you buy a Makita kit with the charger and Japanese batteries and the drill and bring it to the United States. There's a lot of explaining to do, so stay tuned for that. You know how YouTube works. Any use of my affiliate links is greatly appreciated, and thank you for watching.